What if everything you've been told about your skin wasn't the full story? I'm Abhyona, licensed esthetician and skin coach, and this is Clear and Correctish, the podcast where we cut through the noise and clear up the confusion. If you're ready to get real answers and take back control of your skin, hit subscribe and let's get into it. Let me tell you something. You don't have a hot girl summer without sticking to a hot girl routine, okay? And I'm telling you, this hot girl right here is having a hot girl skin summer. We are on the path to having the skin of our dreams this summer because we started a new skincare routine and we're sticking beside her. We're not checking the mirror every day to see whether it's working or not. We're trusting the process. And today's episode, I want you to be on the same hot girl routine. I want you to stick beside her. And I want you to trust the process. So today we're talking about the acne treatment timeline. The thing that y'all love to hate, I hate to love, we're in here together. I get your sentiment. You're like, it's going to take this long. It's going to take time, you know. And I'm like, I know, but it's the consistency. It's the repetition, you know. It's very mindful. It's very demure. And it's very, very, very on par with delivering the results that you seek, so long as you stick to it. So let's get into the episode. I want you to know what to expect from your acne treatment. I want this to be really, 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 really real for you, right? Because when I had my 3 a.m. moment and I was like, I am fed up. I'm sick of this. I don't want to try another thing. My skin is screaming. I'm looking in the mirror every day. Like I'm analyzing breakouts that aren't even there anymore. And I'm trying to make it there. Like that's just how deep I got into this thing, right? I'm in the mirror like, oh my God, this spot. How I'm gonna do this, you know, this coming up here, it's sabotaging me, it's ruining me, it don't want me to be great. Like I had all the things going on. The conversation about my skin was so negative, it was so harsh, it was so not friendly and not kind, you know. I had nothing nice to say about my skin, and I would hop from treatment to treatment, product to product. Sephora and Ulta loved me, as did Walmart, because I stayed wasting coins on things that weren't going to work. And then one day I had my 3 a.m. moment and I said, you know what? I'm going to go to esthetician school because I want the answer. I want to learn it from people who are licensed. I want the inside tea because people are clearing their skin. They don't look like me, but they're clearing their skin. How is it possible? Because let's be honest, and this is not about race. I love that today we are seeing more minority women get the support needed to clear our skin and not damage the pigments of our skin. But there were times where I burnt my skin following routines that weren't friendly, using ingredients that weren't friendly for melanated skin. And I shouldn't say using ingredients that weren't friendly, but maybe using them at strengths or products that were just overly harsh and drying that my skin couldn't take because of the recommendation of another. So yeah, we're going to get into it, like all the way into it. Here's the thing about acne treatments, right? Most of them work because they're going to regulate oil production. They're going to reduce inflammation. They're going to have those healing ingredients that reduce inflammation, and they're going to kill the acne causing bacteria. And so what happens is our skin cells turn over every 28 days. So you won't see major changes overnight. It is 30 days. You got to treat this thing like it's your long distance boyfriend or girlfriend. Like this is a long distance run with celebratory sprints. That is how we're going to treat this. So what's going to happen in the first few weeks? You might feel like nothing's happening, you know. I never thought much was happening in my first couple of weeks. It almost seemed like my skin got worse, you know, like it was freaking out a little bit. But what the real of it was, and I happened to be in esthetician school as this is happening. So it was almost like calming in the same sense because I'm with other people who are studying the same things. My educator is very knowledgeable, knows what to expect with skin at all different stages. And so she helped me learn that my skin was actually adjusting. So the slight dryness, irritation, even mild purging was natural because my skin was adjusting. The oil production was beginning to regulate. Even though breakouts were still present, I could see, or I could sense and feel that you, and when you have oil in your skin, you know what that feeling feels like for some of you. And in addition to seeing it, but I could see that my skin was being less shiny and it was starting to almost look like a satin, like real looks, you know? And that was encouraging to me because I was like, oh, this is working. And y'all, we hadn't even really gotten the deep of it. I mean, we only like 2 weeks into school. We're just learning the basics of our facial process at this point. We're identifying what cleanser we should be using, the toner that we should be using based on the skin type, and the moisturizer. So we hadn't even gotten in deep. But I noticed from the first set of products I was using, because they were for my combination skin type, the pairings, that my skin was already beginning to appreciate them. And because I was a makeup wearer, I learned that I was not actually cleansing my skin properly. I really needed to be double cleansing to get all of the SPF off my face, to get all of the liquid foundation that I was using at the time, which was pore clogging, the heavy concealer that was a cream, like all of those things were adding on to what I was experiencing. And so my skin literally began to feel like air could get into it. Like it felt like, how do I describe it? It felt like breezy, like I could feel the breeze in my skin. It was beautiful. It was like refreshed. So let's see. So that was the first 2 weeks. Weeks 3 and 4, you're going to expect, I like to call this the non-scale victory window. So your breakouts may still exist, right? Because again, we're trying to get ahead of the skin cycle every 28 days. So at 4 weeks, we're hitting roughly 30 days, right? But you're going to notice that some of the breakouts that come up, they begin to heal faster, because the ingredients that you could be using now, when you introduce those acids and those other ingredients, they are causing the skin cells to shed. And as it sheds, what's lying dormant, I like to say pushes to the top, but it's really revealed now at the top. And so it pushes through and you begin to heal faster. Your texture will even begin to feel smoother in some areas. And even though your blemishes will still be appearing, you may even notice blemishes getting darker. And some of my clients freak out about that. And I'm like, that's a good thing, because that means that the skin is shedding, that layer where that deeper pigment was lying is actually surfacing, and it will begin to shed off. Like, I'm like, that's golden. Now I celebrate that. Back then I was like, yeah, I know you lying. Like that was my mindset. I'm like, and what's happening next? Like, when do I expect this to go away? Because I need this to go away. This is not demure. Like, so I share that with you now, being on the other side. I can still sympathize with you. We'll still have our moment together about what that experience feels like, but I can promise you that those blemishes are going to fade. And then the blemishes too really depend on the depth of the injury to the skin when you had that breakout. Because for some people, you will need to lean into an esthetician locally wherever you are for a chemical peel, which is another great way to get your skin even and clear. There are certain requirements that any esthetician is going to require of you. You have to have a strong skin barrier, and they are going to be strict about you adhering to them. It's no, I missed the night on this, oh, well, I didn't do, I'm taking this medication. You're going to be X'd out. It's a no, like absolute no. So if you choose that route, follow the protocol. And then in weeks 3 and 4, you might break out less in some areas where you used to break out frequently. So again, non-scale victories that make you say, okay, this is working. So in the next month, we're going to say weeks 5 through 8, my breakouts were less frequent and they were smaller in size when I did break out. And I can honestly say that that is true for me today, even now that I have addressed my acne from an internal perspective and from an external perspective. When I have a breakout, they aren't large and massive. They are smaller, they're more confined, and they are clearing and healing well. I also noticed that redness and inflammation with them started to decrease during that 2nd month period when I began my own protocol through esthetician school. And the dark spots from the old acne again became visible, but they started to fade slowly. And so by this time, we were further along in our facial and we were using acids. And so largely my peers, because my skin is very resilient, they would use stronger actives on me. But I kid y'all not, like lactic acid was like golden for my skin. My skin loved it. I saw great improvement with lactic acid. It was like the fire starter. And the one thing, that my peers would use on me at esthetician school, if not on the stronger end of the spectrum with another product we used. But it was the thing that I feel like I really helped with the hydration of my skin and the brightening. and it was gentle enough to do what needed to be done. And the same with glycolic acid for me. Like both of those acids, chef's kiss. My skin loves those, like loves them all day, loves them. And then let's see. So we talked about weeks 5 through 8. So month 2. Month 3 forward, what you could expect is clearer skin, right? Clearer skin. I'm not saying you're going to be 100% clear because it depends on your skin. It depends on the severity of what you faced in your skin. It depends on the depth of the injury from your breakouts on your skin. So I can't promise you that you will be 100% clear because I'd be telling you a lie. What I can say is your skin will be clearer if you are consistent, because your consistency will pay off. Your breakouts will be controlled. Your overall texture will improve, but you must be handling both ends, the internal and the external. You can't have one without the other. Little love and marriage game show song in there, but you literally need to do both. And then your skin barrier needs to be stronger, and it is going to strengthen through the process because you're making it more resilient with the onboarding of these products and ingredients. And that is going to help you with future acne triggers. I'm telling you right now, baby, you give your acne treatment at least 6 to 8 weeks before making any decisions, and you will thank yourself, you will thank your esthetician, and your skin will thank you because it'll be like, you finally gave me one thing to ingest, digest, so I can progress and make it through. And speaking of progress, you want to take photos. I can't tell you the number of times clients have a trigger in their skin and they think because they're on a protocol that immediately everything they faced ends. And that doesn't happen anywhere, you know? And I always say, can you send me photos? Send me an updated photo, because I like to look objectively from photo A to photo B to photo C to make sure that your program is not only working for you, but also too, are you actually following the plan? You know, because the photos aren't going to lie. And so if you're not following the plan, we can't expect that around the 8-week mark that we're going to see anything significantly different. And if you're following the plan and there's something we've recommended that's not delivering what we expect, we can analyze that. But for the most part, we are going to know based on your skin questionnaire or your intake conversation, the full details. So that way we can make a recommendation based on your diet, lifestyle, what you eat, so that your plan will address those things that you are facing in your skin today. So mirrors lie, pictures don't. The mirror is going to magnify, the picture is going to give you the truth. Stick to pictures for progress and get out the mirror. Like, get out the mirror. Walk away from the mirror. The only thing I ever want you to do in the mirror is a selfie. That's it. Stay out of the mirror for 8 weeks. Brush your teeth with your eyes closed. I'm joking. But am I? Not really. But I want you to really stay out of the mirror because you don't realize like what you're doing to yourself. And I will say, once I started that process, I think I naturally was out of the mirror because I actually had to spend more time studying. And I was working my corporate job at the same time, going to school at night and then studying any other free time. So I didn't have time to stress over my skin. So maybe that's a recommendation for you, is to find something to do. Pick up another hobby as you begin this process that keeps you out of the mirror. Be so busy. The only time you have time for the mirror is to brush your teeth in the morning and the evening. And the little bit of time you see yourself in the mirror as you're washing your hands after using the restroom. I think that's a good recommendation. And then celebrate the small wins. I think I was fortunate that I was in esthetician school. So the women that were in the program with me, we were naturally celebratory about all the things we were seeing in our skin. And so we often celebrated seeing our skin heal, seeing and feeling a difference in texture, not having as much to extract from the skin, whether it's blackheads, whiteheads. Like, we celebrated those things because sometimes you can have areas of your skin that need extraction or that have texture that you don't recognize that's abnormal until it's gone. Celebrate that. 100%. So as we talk about the acne timeline, purging is a part of the process. And I want you to know that there is a difference between purging and breaking out. So purging is a temporary breakout in an area where you already get acne, right? So if it's your cheeks, you're going to get a temporary breakout in that area. A bad reaction is going to be a breakout in a new area where it's coupled with irritation, burning, and itching. So if I never break out on my forehead, but now I'm breaking out on my forehead, that is a reaction to something I'm doing. And there's likely irritation, burning, and itching that's going to be associated with it. Now, purging happens when we introduce those actives that increase the cell turnover. And so those actives, when you hear me say that, are going to be like retinol, exfoliating products, whether it's a bead or a liquid that you can apply to your skin like a pad, that's going to have an acid of some type, whether it's salicylic, glycolic, lactic acid, mandelic acid, or retinol. You'll see that. And then benzoyl peroxide, for those who have the red inflamed acne, you'll see benzoyl peroxide will also cause you to purge. So when you think of purging, think of it like cleaning out a cluttered closet. And I spring clean annually, faithfully, actually twice a year. I'm like, if you haven't worn it in a year, Abhyona, it's going out the door. And if there's ever a piece that I'm like, oh, I really like this, I give myself 6 months to wear it. And if I don't wear it, give it away. And so treat your skin the same way. See your skin as a closet that's cluttered, that is being cleaned out through the purging process. And before, it gets better, you'll hear that it looks messier, or it gets messier, or it seems to get worse. It may look a little messier and worse, but it is short term. It's not prolonged, right? So when your skin is purging, it is literally pushing out the sebum and dead skin that have built up in your pores, the bacteria, the dirt that have built up and gotten trapped in your skin. It is literally pushing it out faster than usual, which is why the purging can look like a breakout, but it's not. Purging is actually a good thing, and it means your treatment is working. So if you're purging, you want to keep going, you can see purging up to 4 to 6 weeks as we speed the skin cell turnover up and get your pores that are clogged free. And then if you're irritated though, then we need to stop and reassess. So that would be the key difference. If you're noticing any irritation, redness, stinging, any painful cysts that come up, we need to stop and reassess, because there's something that was an unknown that apparently is now making itself known that we need to look at. And then what you'll see in your programs too is that we're usually introducing one new product at a time. So in cycle 1, you can have a regimen that has X, and then in cycle 2 of your plan, we're swapping something out to progress your plan, to bump you up to the next strength so that you can achieve your skin goals and we can expedite your path to the results. Now, as we talk about expediting your path, there is what we call the skincare cycle that you need to stop if you're on it, because there's no way we can expedite you if you're hopping from product to product, right? If you're starting a product today, not giving it time for your skin to adjust, then you're switching to something else. You're going to overload your skin and you're going to lead it to irritation. Like you are single-handedly walking it to the aisle of irritation, and your skin is not going to like that. Even the best products won't work if you don't give your skin time. It literally has to recognize there is a new player here. I need to absorb this new player. I need to appreciate this new player. And I need to respond to what this new player, that player being a product, is being applied to my skin. I liken it to changing your diet every 2 days and expecting weight loss. Let me know if that's ever worked for you in the comments. I legit will want to know. It's the same thing. In the same way that you don't change your diet every few days and expect weight loss, you can't do that with your products. But that's exactly what many of you do every time you buy a new skincare product, every time you learn of a new TikTok trend, every time your favorite influencer recommends something that worked for their skin type, which you don't even know, by the way, and they may not know, that is what you do. So grab a pen and paper, because I'm going to list a few ingredients and I want you to get a sense of how much time they can take for you to see results. So benzoyl peroxide, it works quickly because it kills acne bacteria within 48 hours. But full improvement in your skin using benzoyl peroxide, you can see that it takes 4 to 6 weeks. Now, benzoyl peroxide is not recommended for everyone per se. It really depends on your skin type and what type of acne you're facing, whether inflamed acne or non-inflamed acne. And then on the other side of benzoyl peroxide is salicylic acid. And so that starts unclogging your pores immediately, but visible results can take 6 to 8 weeks using that ingredient. And I love salicylic acid because it really does work. If you let it do its thing, it works. And sometimes people overuse it because they think that it's going to go deeper and really get everything out of there. And it's like, no, your skin is still cycling. It's going to continue to work as your skin cycles. And that's why in that 6 to 8 weeks, you now get the visible results of your skin cycling because it has had 6 to 8 weeks to penetrate and keep you in an unclogged state concerning your pores. I hope that makes sense. For retinol, this one's the long game. Okay, this is your long distance lover. Treat it like the long game. Your skin cell turnover is going to speed up immediately, but visible changes with this can take up to 12 weeks. I'd say 8 to 12 weeks. So this is not a tomorrow situation, but it is a 3+ months from now. You could see a marked difference in your skin. And the only way you're going to know is if you take progress photos. Literally treat retinol and the retinoids like your gym process, like your hot girl summer preparations from the gym. I started at this in January. I'm looking like this in July. That is what you want to do with your retinoids. Now, azelaic acid is a fave of mine because it reduces redness and bacteria fast. It does have antibacterial properties, but hyperpigmentation lightening with that can take 12+ weeks. But when I tell you it is such a nice progression, like it really is. It is that girl. It's not harsh to the skin. Again, it reduces redness. It's going to be calming and it's going to help you with the bacteria. But I just love that, like, it has this non-irritating nature, and you literally wake up in 3-4 months and you're like, oh, my skin really did change. Like, you might even look back at a selfie you posted on your Instagram stories and you're like, oh, that's how my skin looked then. Like, I wonder where that mark was. Like, I don't even see that today. Azelaic is that girl. And the niacinamide is one of my faves too. Y'all know I talk about niacinamide all the time. And I love niacinamide because it balances the oil in your skin and it fades dark spots. And it too is calming. And it's a refreshing ingredient too in products. Similarly, expect 8 to 12 weeks for the full results on using that one. Because I mean, if you think about it, like, do you really want your dark spot to fade fast? Not necessarily. I mean, yes, like who doesn't, right? Let's be real. Like, we all want everything to fade fast, but you don't necessarily want your dark spot to fade fast because you want your overall skin to be on this journey with you. You don't want these spots to go away and then they're like super bright and the rest of your skin is like, yeah, we got to catch up. So it just makes the journey like so much more rewarding when overall your skin health on the whole improves and your actual skin is beautiful. So don't just look at the acne, but look at the entirety of your skin. What you are doing, change the game. You about to have the hot girl skin. I'm sorry to the men that are here. You can have the hot man skin too, if you're a man listening. So I encourage you to stick to a simple, consistent routine for at least 6 weeks. Don't fall for the marketing gimmicks, trying all the new products that promise you better results, because you're going to be back in this cycle. And I definitely want you to track your progress by photos and don't check daily. Stay out of the mirror, just stick to the photos. They will not lie. Now, your lifestyle is going to play a key role. I think I've talked about this in the last 3-4 episodes. I'm not going to beat it down because, or maybe I need to beat it down actually, because this might be your first time listening. You might be like, I actually didn't catch those episodes. I caught this one. So just for you, I'm going to give you the rundown on lifestyle. And lifestyle matters even more than products, right? Because your skincare is part of your solution. But I tell clients all the time that your habits impact your acne too. So poor sleep, stress, and poor diet, 3 key indicators that can slow down your skin's ability to heal. So when you have poor sleep, you're under stress, and your diet is poor, that equates to increased inflammation, the redness and irritation in your skin, and it leads to increased oil production. All of the things that make the perfect storm that I like to call hurricane acne. And we just don't want that. So what you want to do is balance both your internal factors, your gut health, what you're eating, your stress levels, which impact you internally because it causes your cortisol to spike, which causes inflammation to spike, which causes increased oil. Right. And then you want to balance your blood sugar because your blood sugar can send your hormones into be imbalanced, which also impacts the breakouts on your skin. And with those 3 things, plus the external factors, which are the products you're using on your skin, sis, bro, you have the real secret to clear skin right there. Just that simple. And the beautiful thing about it is 3 of the 4 of those things you can actually be doing on your own. Literally on your own. Your doctors have been telling you this all your life. You can be doing it on your own. So I want you to think of your skin as a plant, right? Your products are the fertilizer for the plant. Sleep, stress, and hydration are the sunlight and the water. And if you only focus on the products and neglect the other things, the sunlight and the water, then your results will always be incomplete. You need both. It's not one or the other. Like, you need both. So I want you to think about your lifestyle today. Prioritize hydration, prioritize stress management, prioritize sleep, because all of those things are going to lead to faster healing. They're going to minimize inflammation, irritation, redness, increased oil production in your skin. And then I want you to support your skin from the inside out with acne safe foods and supplements. On the blog, we have our acne safe grocery shopping list. We'll leave that link in the show notes for you, so you can check it out. It'll be under our skin resources in the show notes. I want you to treat your skincare like long-term self-care, not an overnight fix. This is a long distance relationship. This skincare, clearing your acne, is your long distance lover. You're so excited to see him or her, when a month goes by and y'all can see each other, 2 months go by. Like, I want you to treat your skin the same way. Like, oh, I'm so excited to take this picture in 2 months. Like, what you looking like, boo? Like, oh, you look so good. Like, you're so handsome. You're so beautiful. Like, treat your process like that. I'm telling y'all gonna thank me. I don't think y'all are thanking me right now, but y'all are going to thank me. You really are, because I have been there. I literally had to shift my mind, and I saw the fruit of it. And I only want the same for y'all. I literally do. Like, your skin is always working toward healing. I just want you to work with it, not against it. Because when you do all the other things, you're working against it. You have to give your routine time. It's on the hot girl summer track right now. You have to track your progress with photos, and you have to stop chasing quick fixes. So if you would like to go ahead and get the support to be on the hot girl skin track or the hot boy skin track for summer, our Acne Clear program is now available. It is a $600 investment for our time and services over 6 months. You will be invoiced for your product regimen separately, so that is an additional fee. Now, during that 6-month time, we will have progress monitoring monthly with photos, probably more frequently. If I'm being honest with you, I say that, but then I'm like, hey, shoot me those photos. Like, we have a shared album together that you will upload your photos in. And then we use our 3-step method to help you get to clear. So we like to make sure you're aware of your acne, what the root causes are, where it's stemming from, so you address those things. And that is the internal factors, right? And then we like to be very clear about what correction looks like. And so correction is that plan, that protocol with your products, how we correct it from the outside, how we'll correct the scarring, how we'll correct the hyperpigmentation or dark spots, and how you will correct it from the internal component. And then the third place is getting you to clear, and it's the prevention phase. What steps do you need to take now that we've gotten you to a clearer state to maintain the clarity of your skin and continue in maintenance mode? So we work together on this. You're not alone. You will have the support of myself. You will have access to me over that 6-month period, and we're going to celebrate you through it all. So that link will be in the show notes. If you are ready to pull the trigger and get started, we are ready to have you and ready to welcome you. So before we go, I want you to make sure you have a skin plan that works. And if you have questions, go find us. Our social links are in the show notes. Shoot us a DM. Send us what you're using currently. Ask the questions. We're happy to answer. And I want you to stay connected to this community. So if you are watching or listening to us on any of your favorite streaming platforms or on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you are locked in and you're always notified when we drop a new episode. And those episodes drop weekly. All right? All right, so we'll see you next time, friends. But until then, remember to stay clear, stay confident, and stay correct-ish.